What are you doing?
I'm lied to you. I'm not ready yet.
Okay. All right, Kristi, I'm going to take you out there. She's outside today. It must be cool out. Is it cool out? It's hot here.
Well, she lives in another country.
What country does she live in?
I don't know.
Tennessee is not a country. I keep telling you that, Mike. I keep telling you that.
So she lives in Tennessee?
I have no idea. We'll ask her when she comes up.
Okay.
And now for something special. The unit is self-contained with its own saddler, farrier, wheelwright, and so on. It's a rigorous training dished out who know all there is to know about horses, and it brings results.
We take you behind the scenes now to show just some of the interesting aspects of this training.
Welcome back to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stine, the award-winning #1 podcast to create sounder horses from the ground up. Mike Stine is a registered journeyman farrier with an APF1 accreditation. On this week's show, in the studio, we have Kristi Foresman, a 3-star event rider. We're going to talk about having a village in this sport and the mental preparation for competition and conditioning and nutrition for longevity. All this and much more will be discussed here on Equine Dynamics with Mike Stine. And over on our far right side is Mike Stine. How are you?
I'm doing good, Travis. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. You know what? I'm doing pretty darn good today.
Good.
You know why?
Why?
My wife's in a good mood.
That would help, yeah.
Well, when I say she's in a
You
good
haven't been, she already told you could be doing okay today.
Yeah, she did say, honey, you're allowed to be okay today. And I said, that's great, because she is so happy. She has been training. She's been doing all this stuff to get ready for this show that she had this past week. And she was doing level 1.
Right.
And she got good scores. But now she just jumped to level 3. She's like, level 1's nothing for me. She's going straight to level 3. And now this is what they call a learning or training test. It's not like your permanent record type stuff,
right.
But still, it's the stepping stones that she needs, because she's going to, I forget where she's going, but she's going somewhere in August, and that's the actual permanent record on her thing. So
they're going to put the rubber stamp on it.
They are rubber stamped, triple stamped, stapled, signed, and declarated. Let me tell you what she actually did now. So she was in 2 events, I guess, 2 training things. Now, for those of you who don't know, my wife rides dressage. We have a horse off property. We have his name is, he's a gelding. His name is Diego. And,
yes, that's him.
And we also have Dominique here on the property, which is our mare. And then we have another mare, which is Cayenne. She's a little pistol. So my wife rides Diego, and she goes to this, I think it was Aiken that this show was in. Aiken, South Carolina. Is that right? Is that where it's at? Okay.
That's not Tennessee.
I always want to say Georgia for some reason.
It's close.
Yeah, I think there's an Aiken, Georgia, too. So she rides. The first class that she's in, there's 10 riders. She gets 3rd place. Not bad. Not bad at all for her. I mean, considering this is her first year of actually being in the eventing and doing all that stuff, being in an event. And then the second ride that she had, which is weird, it's like 2 hours later, she's like, all right, get on your horse, let's do it again. And she had 15 people that she was riding with, and she came in 4th. Now, you say, 4th place, why wasn't she 1st or 2nd? Like I said, she's not there yet, but she's confident enough that in itself, for her to get top 5 or top 3, was very, very inspiring for her. She's like, I know I can do it. I know I can do it. Now, what she's working on now is her conditioning. She realizes that her core is not where it should be. She's like, I want to do yoga. I'm like, babe, between your 80-hour-a-week job, you riding horses 3 days a week, on the weekends we take care of something here on the property always needs to be fixed. When are you going to do yoga? I said you can do it while you're sleeping, just one of those.
Well, at nighttime, laying there not doing anything. So you might as well do that, yeah.
Laying in front of the boob tube there and, do a couple leg kicks and a couple, bicycle rides while you're sitting. What are you doing? I'm trying to go to sleep. Thank God they don't have water beds anymore. I'd be sloshing out of the bed. But, she needs to get her core. Flexibility is her main thing. And she was never like a gymnast growing up as a little girl or anything like that. She always rode horses. Now she's realizing the flexibility that she needs is not there. So she's like, I got to stretch a little bit more. I got to, do this a little bit more. I'm like, babe, this is your world. I take care of my voice because this is my world here. I don't smoke. I don't do anything horrible like that. So
Well, I mean, I understand that because I have to like wake up at 4:30 or 5 in the morning so I can get out of bed at 6:30, 8. Yes, exactly. Because then you got to try to make something move and make this move and see if your hands will work or not, and
yeah,
and maybe your knees will work when you stand up. You won't fall down.
And we're all not getting any younger. She's not as old as me, but she's. I don't want to throw out her age. It's not polite to say a woman's age, but she's not a teenager anymore. She's an adult woman, and when you get older, things start stiffening up. That's all I have to say about that. All right, so we're going to take a quick little break, and when we come back, we're going to bring on the air with us Kristi Foresman, a 3-star event rider. I'm going to ask her if she has any problems or any suggestions for my wife to get her all stressed out.
She doesn't have any problems. Not a one.
No, she
has horses. There's no problem.
No problem at all. So we'll talk to her when we come back. Stick around. You're listening to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stine. He'll be right back. Boop. Oh, there she is. Hi.
Her age, and it wasn't going to be a happy day for you.
What's that? Say that again.
If you throw out her age, she's not going to.
No. She doesn't listen to the show anyway. She's like, I live the show, Travis. I live the show.
Good. Probably better that way.
But the problem is all the friends in her barn listen to the show. Now look at your camera angle because you got to hold them up a little bit higher.
Camera.
I know, but look at the screen. You got to hold them up a little bit higher because we got a 3 screen going here.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, got it?
Let's see, that one needs to
He
be
sticks
turned
them
that
right
way.
in front of his face.
You said hold them up higher.
Mike Stine brings you Hoofmender.
Well,
It could be anyone.
I don't have a Jason mask to put on when you do that.
Such a dummy. All right, here we go. You ready?
Right.
Ready.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes, darling.
I didn't know you cared.
I do care. Welcome back to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stine, brought to you by Equine One, Hoofmender, and Hoof Putty. Mike, you got to raise it up a little higher. There you go.
But you didn't want me behind it.
Natural hoof dressing and natural hoof mender putty. Get yours now and go to equine.one and get 10% off your whole entire order with the keyword podcast or Equine Dynamics. Thank you, Mike. Very good job. And over to my far inside, our very own Vanna White is Mike Stine. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you, Travis?
I'm doing all right. And joining us here in the studio, we have Kristi Foresman, a 3-star event rider. Welcome to Equine Dynamics. Thanks for being on with us.
Thanks for having me.
So we were talking about that you live in a different country. Where are you located at?
Yeah, I'm in the faraway country of North Carolina.
Oh my God, I've heard of that place.
Have you?
Yeah. What are you doing outside? It's hot outside. What side of North Carolina are you on?
I'm in the foothills, so I'm not exactly sweltering yet, but it's coming.
Well, yeah. So hopefully you won't get a whole lot of sweat here.
You're not
Yeah,
terribly.
if I start sweating, I might be like,
You're closer to Virginia than you are to us.
yeah, I'm closer to Virginia then.
So I always ask our guests, how do they get started in the the horse lifestyle? I've asked my wife. She's like, well, her mom used to ride, and so I took over the reins. So her mom couldn't ride anymore, and we've had other farriers, we've had doctors and stuff where they said, it was always in their family. It was always in their family. I think there was one rogue person where,
That was me.
no, the one young lady from the Dover Saddlery, she's like, my parents didn't know anything about it, and I wanted to ride. And I was like,
Right.
well, all right, that's kind of weird. And then they realized how much money it costs. And
Right.
so Kristi, how did you get started and the interest of riding horses, and what style of riding do you do?
Well, my mom rode.
There you go. Called it.
She did it, yeah, but she did a different discipline. So she rode saddlebreds and saddle seat and was quite a good saddle seat rider. And my brother and sister are older than I am, and they're actually allergic to horses. So she couldn't share her passion with them. And then I came along and was instantly bit by the bug, but I didn't want to do what she wanted to do because that's not cool.
You were so lucky not to be allergic to horses.
Yeah, I was the lucky one that didn't get allergic. So I wanted to jump and do the cool things that I saw on the Olympics, and Pony Club was where that was at. So I started in Pony Club, and I am an English rider. It's 3-day eventing. So dressage is one phase, cross country is the second phase, and show jumping is the third phase.
It always amazes me when I hear that, when someone is an event rider and they do all 3 phases. My wife just has a hard enough time just doing the one dressage. But you yourself have to do, 3 different styles with the same horse. I'm assuming you don't change out horses like a NASCAR where they change a car out. No, they're not this car. We'll use that car over there, for Talladega or something.
It's like I've occasionally run across somebody because the large bulk of my clients are riding an English saddle of some sort. Mm-hmm. Every now and then somebody says, those English riders, they're all scared. They're all scared of their horses. I'm like, you've never been around eventers.
So what's the difference? Isn't dressage an English saddle? That's without the horn, right?
It is.
Okay,
it is.
I just checking because I'm
a
the idiot.
Side saddle, a jumping saddle,
So for you to do all 3 and the discipline and stuff that you have to do to I was talking about my wife's core that she has. You must be type core. Do you do anything outside of just your normal practicing or lessons, is what my wife calls them, as far as keeping your core strong and healthy? And if you do that, do you have any advice for my wife for getting that core nice and solid for her to move?
Yeah, 100%. So eventers, we're definitely adrenaline junkies. So we're always on the go, always moving. I add running 3 days a week to my schedule, first thing in the morning or late at night. And then I also go to the gym and do weightlifting. And then I also do Pilates. So there's a lot that I do to strengthen my core and to have the stamina to keep up with the triathlete that is my horse.
So is this your full-time employment as far as doing the horse and everything like that?
It is, yes.
Okay. So yeah, you're fortunate enough to where you can do that and earn a living.
Around the farm, there's constantly something to be done.
I've got a rail down the other day I saw, and I was like, oh, I got to fix that. I got to fix that. So that's great. So we were talking about how much does it take to have a horse and to train a horse and stuff. Having a village in this sport, can you explain that phrase to me? It takes a village to raise a child, but what does it take when you have a village in this sport?
Yeah, it takes a village and then some, right? A village to raise a child, you have your friends, you have your family. In this sport, you need a whole team of people at your back that you trust, that you know. So my horses being at the top of the sport right now, or almost at the top of the sport right now, they have farriers, right? Or a farrier.
A farrier. I'm sorry.
Vets, right? Or a vet. And then your coach, your trainer, and a nutritionist for both you and your horse,
Do you have someone that preps your meals? I know my wife always, preps her meals for the horses, but then she'll come in and make a sandwich. I don't understand that, but
yeah, no, that's all me too. It's just a lot of time management, but it's just having that team. So then you also have your groom. There's probably a team of, let's count: farrier, vet, coach, groom, help. At least a team of 5.
She blacked out.
Oh, just cut me out.
There you go. Yeah. It's all right. So at least a team of at least 5.
At least a team of 5.
Yeah.
Including yourself.
Now,
all of them have a job, so you need to really trust what you have. So Mike is my farrier, and he knows event horses. He knows that my horses run on uneven surfaces at full speed.
She believes this
and then
right
they also
now.
have to go into very manicured footing in arena, and then they also have to be able to jump, high fences. And each one of those phases requires a different set shoe or a different angle in their hoof. So he has to be a jack of all trades and say, I need a tweak here, but not enough so it tweaks there. Whereas one discipline, you can kind of get away with just catering to one.
There's
and then, your vet, my vet and I have a good relationship. I have her personal phone number. I can text her when I'm saying, hey, I feel this. Can you come check it out? Or, hey, I need to get my passport stamped and updated and vaccines updated. Can you come out real quick? Or, crap, I didn't get my Coggins. I'm supposed to be leaving tomorrow. Can you rush order this and do it for me? And then your coach is the one that's supposed to help pick you up when you're down or tell you that you're supposed to be down. You didn't do it right.
You're doing good this time, but next time I want you to do this.
My coaches hold me accountable. And then you can't do anything without your groom. My groom is actually my husband. So he has a full-time job here, and then he also slaves away with me at the horse shows. So surprisingly, we're not divorced.
Hold on, time out. Hold on.
It's a high adrenaline sport.
Hold on one second. Kristi.
So he has to put up with all of that. And then also a very, very fit animal, 1,000-pound animal that's ready to run at any moment.
Can you hear us okay? Can you hear us?
Big team, big village.
No, she can't hear us.
And if you don't have the right people, it goes bad very quickly.
Kristi, 1 second. Can you hear us at all? Can you hear us? Can you
Are
hear?
we frozen?
No.
No, we're not frozen.
Oops.
I can hear Travis. I cannot hear you. Or I can hear you. Can you hear?
Can you hear us?
Who can hear who?
No, there she goes.
Okay.
She's gonna sign out. Can you hear us? Text her to sign out and sign back in. One sec. You're okay. Hold on one sec. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay, now you can hear us. Okay, never mind. I was going to say
Where'd it go?
something when you blacked out the first time. I think the audio didn't come back for us, like you could see us, but you couldn't hear us. So I was like asking you all these questions, and you were like, which is fine. That was fine because it was good information. But I just wanted to stop before we got any further and got too far into the show, and you're not able to hear us at all. So the last thing you said was that your husband works full time and he's a groomer and he goes to the shows and everything with you.
Yeah.
Poor guy. Because unless he's into it, unless he's really into it, I'm not allowed to go to shows because my wife goes, I've got one 4-year-old child I got to worry about, which is her horse. She doesn't want to have to worry about a 51-year-old child walking around and getting into trouble. Can I have money for ice cream? Go sit down somewhere, please. So, when you say it takes a village. Now, do you have like chiropractors and the people that come out and do the what is it with the electric?
The body work.
Yeah, the body work and all that. Do you have those people as well?
I do, and then I also have a system that sponsors a couple of my horses, Revidavet, and they use infrared light therapy. So that's equivalent to having massage therapists out. But I have body workers, chiropractors. I have one for myself as well, and I mean it's. You think it, we have it.
So next time the one that comes over to work on you, can I slip in a little quick session too? He can kind of work on me as well.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'll be right there.
I'm always crooked and off in certain places, so.
Now, my wife had an experience with a horse person that came out, and she's trying to get her licensing or something, where I'm not sure what the actual, I wish I'd pay attention a little bit more, but I don't, unfortunately, where the woman takes woman or man, doesn't matter, but the person takes their hand and kind of hovers it over the horse about 2 or 3 inches and just kind of does this energy type, just kind of sits there and kind of feels the horse out, never puts the hands on him. Do you know what that, and then they kind of do a little bit of body work and stuff. I don't know. It might be hocus pocus.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. All mine touch the horse.
Well, yeah, I mean, just you said 5 alone. We have a vet, a farrier, a trainer, a coach, all the other stuff that adds into that. People don't think about that when they get a horse. They're like, I'm going to get a horse. I'm going to ride a horse. I'm going to be a champion. And it takes a little bit more, and unfortunately, it takes a little bit of money to do that as well. When we come back, Kristi, you're in competition right now, correct? And what is your main goal when you're in your competition? What is your main the high benchmark that you're trying to achieve?
I'm honestly having a good show. I've had to lower my standards over the years. It used to be to win the money, to win all that, but honestly, it's so hard to win in the sport that it's you have to set attainable goals and then just keep building. So obviously, someday I'd love to represent the United States, or I'd make it to 5-star. But right now, it's just about having a good event. Ending on a number, not a letter.
All right, we're going to take a quick little break because I want to dive into the 3-star and 5-star and what it takes to get to those levels. So stick around. You're listening to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stine. He'll be right back. Kristi, you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, sorry for the...
Shit, I was rambling for a good 5 minutes.
No. That's what I said. People ramble, that's fine. Just I let them go, and then I just kind of clip it out and kind of make you sound smarter. If I can make Mike sound real smart,
anybody can sell smart.
Right.
And when he has technical problems, he calls me in to take care of it.
Right, exactly. Mike, my monitor went off. Brings his hammer in. Bam!
No more problem.
All right, welcome back to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stine, brought to you by Equine 1 All natural hoof dressing and all natural hoof mender putty. 100% natural, no petroleum products in here. Very recommended. Protect, prevent, and maintain your horses with Equine One. Go to equine.one right now and get 10% off your purchase, your whole entire purchase, by putting the keyword podcast and or Equine Dynamics. What were you going to say, Mike?
It's good for thrush, shelly hoof walls, and making your fingers sticky.
But it's 100% natural, so
No, it's not bad at all. It works well under pads if you need to.
and that's Mike Stine over there. How are you?
I'm doing good, Travis. How are you?
Doing well. And joining us here in the studio, a 3-star event rider, Kristi Foresman. How are you? Thanks for joining us.
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Now, when you say 3 stars, is that anything like when like restaurants? I just got done wrapping up watching The Bear, the television series The Bear, and they're always trying to get it like a Michelin star type deal. Is it kind of the same thing? Like a 3-star is you've achieved so much, and how do you get these stars? I mean,
It's when you hit the ground, how many are circling your head?
mine are mostly like little Tweety birds flying
Right.
around my head.
Yeah, it's your level of crazy, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yes.
Something like that, yeah.
That's a good example. Level of crazy. So explain how you actually even get 1 star and what that 1 star actually means for anyone that has that to showcase.
Yeah, so the stars are actually the international level of competition. So the FEI, and I couldn't off the top of my head tell you what FEI stands for, but the FEI and the USEA and USEF have different standards and levels, and FEI is actually the international stage. And the first star there, it's simply a level. You have to qualify to get there, and then if you complete it, then you can say you're a 1-star rider. And you complete it with an MER, so you end on a letter, or I'm sorry, you don't want to end on a letter. You end on a number, not a letter. And that's getting a certain dressage score, under 45. Not having any jumping penalties. You can have a little bit of time, and then not having any or more than 4 rails in show jumping. So if you achieve all those, then you can get your first star per se.
Now, what does the first star get you? I mean, as far as like cloud or anything like that. And Mike, you were going to say something earlier. What were you going to say?
I forgot already.
Oh, Jesus. All right. So what does the 1 star get you? I mean, as far as notoriety.
Yeah, experience, notoriety, and it allows you, it's a qualifier to get to your next level. So the top of the sport is 5 stars. So you can't just jump. You can't just buy a 5-star horse and just get there. You have to prep for it. You have to qualify for it. And so every level, you have to have MERs, minimum eligibility requirements, at each level to move up a level.
Yeah, I'm backing up.
Okay.
The FEI thing.
Yes.
I had someone try to talk to me. I think it's all French, and I couldn't pronounce it anyway.
Oh, what it stands for?
Equestrian International, I think.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right.
Now, to get to your first star, I mean, what does it take mentally to prepare for competition to get that first star, and what do you have to do to step up to get? I'm assuming a little bit more to get each star. But I mean, you physically and mentally, what do you do to prepare yourself to go into competition?
It's a lot. So the national levels for the U.S., you have to start from beginner, novice, all the way to modified. To even get your qualifiers to run an FEI event, to run the first 1 star, which is their introduction FEI level. All of that, I mean, it is hours, blood, sweat, tears, all the things to get there, plus tons of money in competition to get to these events. You have to qualify in 3 events, not in 3 consecutively, but you have to have 3 qualifying results in order to even enter the 1 star.
Are they in a certain time frame? Like you can't go like 3 years, like one every other year or something like that? Because I'd imagine they put a time frame on those 3 events that you need to qualify in.
Yeah, the most recent one has to be within 12 months.
Okay, so a year time.
Yeah, but there is a rolling, I believe it's a 5-year rolling period that you can keep your qualifiers, but your most current one has to be within 12 months of competition.
Uh-oh.
She's freezing
and
up.
then what?
I think you're freezing up.
There you go. Go. Can you hear me?
Where was I? Yeah, I can hear you.
The last 30 seconds we just lost.
Okay. And then your 2-star level is equivalent to the preliminary level in the States, which that's when things start getting really real and mentally just tougher. And you have to realize that you can put a plan on paper. You can say, yeah, I'm going to go to the show and do this level and do this test and get the qualifier, and things just can go wrong. It's easier to say it's going to go wrong than it is to go right. And then from there, so to get to the 3-star level, your original question, I'm finally getting back to that.
That's okay.
You have to have qualifiers at national levels, at the intermediate level, as well as a 2-star completion and qualifying result. And then once you're in the 3-star level, I mean, the level has been kicking my butt. Like it's a real level.
And you want to make it to the next level so it can kick your butt harder.
Yeah, and it's definitely humbling. Every level you go up, they judge you harder. The horse has to be fitter, so they're fitter and harder to control. The jumps are bigger. Mistakes are consequential very quickly, and it's harder to get those MERs. So on 2 of my horses, I've actually qualified both of them for the advanced level, which is the top of the sport. But I want the 3-star to feel a little bit easier before I go and try.
Yeah, I don't not just grab the 3 stars and go. Well, all right, got it. I'm going on to the next one.
It takes it takes so much.
Doesn't mean you should, right?
Yeah, right.
Right. It takes so much to get a horse to that level. Sometimes you've got to be smart because you want that horse for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Now mentally, do you put on go in a dark room and put on I don't know, Nickelback or something in your headphones and sit there and you get in the zone? Oh yeah, I'm gonna do this. It's too bad, it's too late, whatever. And you're getting in the zone. How do you mentally get in the zone before you get on, saddle up and get on the horse?
Well, so each of my horses have a playlist.
Okay.
That caters to their personality, and then I do the old school what movie, the Kevin Costner movie, where he goes clear the mechanism. Right. I literally do that. I'll tell myself, all right, clear the mechanism before I get on, and just be like, all right, it's either going to go how I want it or it's not. And either way, I have to keep my head in the game and keep focusing. And you kind of have to be a fish. And if your dressage test doesn't go well, which most of the time mine doesn't, then I have to be like, all right, on to the next one. Forget about it. Move on.
To look at it and say, that's not the worst one I've ever done. Right.
Yeah.
I've been at just normal clinics. And I've seen riders, when they get off the horse from coming out of a clinic, just completely break down because they're so tight and so wound, and then they get off and they're like, I ruined it, I didn't do well, I'm never gonna be the champion, that type deal. And I've just seen riders, male and female, break down as they come off the horses. So I can't imagine the challenge that you have gone through just to get to the 3 stars. How many times that I don't want to say that you've broken down, but I'm sure there's got to be, it's just a ratio of numbers where that you've gotten off that horse and you're going, why am I even doing this?
Yeah, constantly. I mean, constantly. You're constantly in your head and saying, oh, should I do this? Oh, am I in over my head? Am I prepped for this? Can I do this? And then you have a good one once out of 10, maybe, right?
Yeah,
1 out of 10.
that's the one that sticks.
But yeah, there was a season that I fell off three shows in a row on different horses, and I was like, I'm done.
Sell them. Sell the house. We're going to whatever money we make. We're moving to Florida. We're going to sit on the beach for the rest of our lives. Now, you were talking about the village of people that help you in this sport. And you were talking about, chiropractors for both you and the horse. Do you have a therapist at all that you physically go to and go, look, hey, or it's like your coach or your mentor or anyone like that? Is that the person that you lean on?
I'm the therapist.
Mike's the therapist, but you're the one she throws stuff at. That's the thing,
Yeah.
She throws the hoof puck.
Yeah. Teach your kids to have bad behavior, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there are a lot of sports therapists out there. I know a lot of people that go there. I just go into a screen room and just scream.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're one of those people do you do the bashing of the copier, the photocopier, and you smash stuff like the smash rooms and stuff like that? Have you done that?
No, but that's a great idea.
Here's Mike, you ready?
I could see you doing that.
Mike, you ready?
Yes.
On top of our other $1 million ideas,
right?
We're gonna rent a box truck, right? And in this box truck, we're gonna give when the rider comes off and they've had a real bad ride or something like that, this box truck's gonna be full of stuff that they can break. We give them a bat, we put a helmet on them, some goggles, and maybe a work glove or two, and then they can go in there and just go, I hey guys, and they're swinging and smashing, and then they come out.
Unreleased.
Yeah, and they come out and they're ready for their second ride.
So we can have an assortment of stuff to smash stuff with.
Yeah. You can have a crop, whatever that sledgehammer, something like that. $1 million idea, Mike. We could show up at every event.
No, that's actually a great idea.
See, there you go.
There you go. That's it.
That's actually a great idea.
We'll if it's good enough, we'll run a semi-trailer and have each room, portion it off.
There you go.
All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about.
Guess I'll have to go for CDL then, right?
Yeah, I got my CDL.
Okay.
So when we come back, we're going to talk about the conditioning of the horses and nutrition, not only for you, but your horses as well. So stick around. You're listening to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stine. He'll be right back. Kristi, you having a good time?
Yeah.
And you thought this was going to be boring.
Oh, no. Anything with Mike is not boring.
Yeah. You okay with
I
that?
should have had more coffee today.
Why?
I don't know.
Mike, you're quiet.
You're not used to that, are you?
And,
No.
and it's a normal thing. It's sometimes getting him here after working all week. Normally we do this on Monday. So, he's sleepy from the weekend and stuff, and me pulling teeth to get him to open up sometimes.
Some days are a little rough getting going, but
It's okay.
every day's a little rough getting going.
All right. Mike, you ready?
Yes.
Get your cans ready.
I got cans. I've got cans.
Kristi, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Welcome back to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stine, the #1 podcast to bring you sounder horses from the ground up. And brought to you by Equine 1 Natural Hoof Dressing and Equine 1 Natural Hoof Mender Putty. Both 100% natural, no petroleum products in there. Get yours right now. You can use it in wintertime. You can use it in the summertime. You can use it year-round. Soapy, sooty, muddy waters out there. You can use this right here. Go to equine.1, all natural hoof dressing and all natural hoof mender, and get 10% off with the keyword podcast or Equine Dynamics. What were you going to say?
Just keep your horse's feet healthy and trouble-free.
Healthy and trouble-free. Continuous maintenance. Thank you, Mike. Good job. And over to my far right side is Mike Stine. How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you, Travis?
Doing well. And joining us here in the studio is Kristi Foresman, a 3-star event rider. How are you? And thanks for joining us.
I'm good. How are you?
So is it getting any hotter over there now that the sun's come up?
No, not yet.
Not yet. I can see the reflection in the background. Is that a ceiling fan on over above you? Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So there you go, Mike. So we were talking about when we started the program, the village of people that you have in the sport to help you maintain your horse and maintain yourself and everything like that. But one of the main things that you need to have, you can have all the people in the world, but if you're not eating right and if you're not conditioning yourself right with what you put in your body, what you get out of that is not going to be very well.
She did touch on the fact if you got a village, you've got the village idiot.
You've got a village idiot in there somewhere. I think it's the farrier.
Well, yeah, that's a given.
No. And Mike being her farrier. So tell us, you at the beginning you were talking about conditioning and how you go for a run every morning. You do Pilates 4 times a day, and you've got a nutritionist and all that. Tell us what you do for the horse itself without you being on the horse. Because a lot of people, the groundwork, I guess, is where I'm steering with this. What kind of groundwork do you do for the horse, and what kind of nutrients and things that you're feeding the horse?
Yeah, all of my horses, just like humans, everybody needs different levels of protein, different levels of fat, different levels of carbs. Horses are the same. You have to cater to them. You have to give them the, certain electrolytes, certain muscle recovery, just like you would a pre-workout for yourself. They get the same type of thing. Plus, they all have their own routines. My horses get a lot of breaks because it's easy to break them down. And my horses get a lot of walks, 60-minute walks, whether it's hand walk or on their back, tack walking. Because I go over so much terrain, using hard footing, using hills, using rocky surfaces is one of the best ways to keep your horse sound for longevity in the sport. And then from there...
Last week Mike was talking about having a high-low horse, and something he just threw at me. He was like, "If you got one of those side ditches, have the horse walk down the side ditch." And I'm like, all right,
right. Use the terrain to help it out.
Yeah, literally use the terrain. The piece of property that we have here, I have hill work specifically for that.
Right, and I think with any horse sport, sometimes getting them off the flat and level arena is actually a very positive thing for a horse. Keeps the body moving in positions. We don't keep them moving when we're only on flat ground.
Now, as far as nutrition, do you supplement your horse, or do you have someone that recommends, hey, for Tinkerbell, I'm not sure the name of your horse, but for Tinkerbell, she needs to have, A, B, and C, or do you do all the research and do you make those decisions on what your horse eats?
You can do either. You can hire a nutritionist. I personally make the decisions on my horses because I'm a nerd in that regard. I like to study and read, and I like to see the changes of my horse. But I use hallway feeds, and they actually have a really good team that monitor my horses. Quarterly, it would be every 3 months. And they come and say, the top line is not quite developed here. We're a little overdeveloped here. Try doing this, try adding this, and just, they can't talk to us, but they definitely show us in their bodies.
And that plays into the work program. And, you know from working with me that if she's got something going on with a horse, I want her, she'll let me know, and I want to work direct with the trainer. And this is going on, this change, that change, we're lacking here. And I need to be looking and thinking about what she's telling me and what the horse is telling me.
Mike, have you ever told an owner of a horse or a trainer of a horse that, hey, your horse is eating too much groceries? Have you done that before?
Oh, yeah.
Because you're down below, and you can see the results down below of what's going on up top.
Plenty of times.
You have done that?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have anyone? Go ahead.
It starts in the feet. No hoof, no horse. So Mike is such a valuable asset to the team because he is the first one to be like, oh, you know what? I think you're riding a little heavy in the right.
Yeah, but most of the time, if you tell somebody the horse is too heavy, some of them will get mad at you.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Have you had someone throw a shoe at you or anything like that? Say, hey, mind your own.
Yeah.
Have you really, Kristi? Kristi raises her hands. No, you haven't thrown the shoe at them.
Yeah, I've had some people get upset with me because you need to back off some groceries.
But
they thought I was talking about them.
For me, if I have someone come out, like if I got a guy putting on tires on my car, right, and he goes, it sounds like your third solenoid on the backside rear of your flux thing is not firing right. I'm gonna be like, dude, just put the tires on my car. I'm not paying you to do all this stuff. I don't want to say. I'm not belittling you to the guy who puts tires on my car, Mike.
Well, when the horse has a flux capacitor problem, we need to do something with it.
So I was going through your Facebook because I like to do a little research on who we're going to have here in the show. And yours is very interesting, Kristi, because you were in the hospital for something tragic that happened on your horse or during loading a horse on a trailer. Now, let me explain something to you of my experience. I have a mare, and she will not load. So my job as the ding-dong husband is to stand in the trailer and hold this nylon rope, barehanded nylon rope, and pull just give tension on the horse as my wife whacks the horse on the butt. So the horse gets halfway in and then rears up and takes off. Well, you know what a nylon rope does to hands, right? So I've got this nice little smooth groove on my hand where I don't have any fingerprints anymore. And I'm petrified. I told my wife, I am petrified loading this horse. You got this 1,500-pound horse coming in this trailer, and I'm in the nose with one little door that's about 1.5 feet wide for my big 230-pound body to get out of it. Doesn't happen. So I am nervous loading a horse. Now, you had something happen to you where you loaded a horse and you accidentally did something. Explain what happened that put you in the hospital for a little bit.
Well, it wasn't necessarily loading. It was in the trailer. At an FEI event, you have to take temperatures. And so when you check in, the vet on call asked me to take the temperature while the horse was still in the trailer before he got off property. And I was taking his temperature, which is sticking a thermometer up their butt.
Ooh.
That's how you take their temperature. So I was taking his temperature and something set him off in the front. And as I was pinned between him and the center divider, he started kicking, and he kicked my leg. He kneed me in the sternum, and my head hit the top of the center divider and had a nice split.
Oh,
my head open pretty good.
Come closer to the camera because you showed us during the break. Look at that. And it goes all the way from your hairline almost down to the bridge of your nose. Oh, my gosh. Look at that. What did you call it? The Harry Potter scar?
Harry Potter scar.
Do we have permission to put that picture up on during the video here so people can see that? Okay, I'm gonna go grab.
Certainly.
I'm gonna grab that picture just to show the dangerousness
Of using
of
a
it, yeah.
thermometer.
Of using a thermometer, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, nothing, no concussion, no anything bad happened to you. Did it affect your riding at all? Did when you were done? Did you say, "I have horses"? You know, did amnesia or anything kick in?
No, I was in the hospital, and I asked the doctor to just glue it together so I could stick my helmet on and go back to the competition
That same day?
that same day. And if my knee I couldn't lift my leg up pretty good. So if my knee was working better, I would have continued to ride that competition. Probably not smartly.
Oh, yeah.
No.
But I was cleared.
I believe it. I believe it for sure.
See, horse people aren't crazy, Mike. I told you, horse people are crazy. All right, we're gonna take. Oh, wait, hold
Another
on.
call just came through.
Hold on. I'll wait for her to come back on. Are you there? Can you hear
Yeah.
us? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I told you, Mike. Horse people are crazy. Horse people are crazy.
Absolutely, yes.
What they would do for their sport. All right, we're going to take a quick little break, come back, one little segment, and wrap up the show. So you're listening to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stine. He'll be right back.
Yeah, I wish I could block the phone calls. That's what's
Oh, is that
going
what that was? A phone call?
Yeah.
Are you on your
Yeah.
cell phone or a laptop?
I'm on my cell phone. My laptop is a dinosaur. So
Oh,
it
okay.
doesn't work. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Mike, you ready?
I got the cans.
I see you've got the cans. I've got the mutts, baby. I got the mutts.
I got the cans.
Okay. Make sure.
Yes.
Make sure you hold them
Aimed
all
in the right direction.
Yeah, all the way up because you're
the
like,
way up.
yeah, you're
Is
cutting
that
off. Yeah, there you go.
that better?
Yeah, we can see it now.
That's
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Kristi, you ready?
Ready.
Here we go. Welcome back to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stine, brought to you by Equine One, natural hoof dressing and also a 100% natural hoof mender putty. Get yours right now at equine.one. Get 10% off with keyword podcast or Equine Dynamics. Thank you very much, Mike.
Thank you.
And don't forget, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video. You can see all the fascinating stuff that we have here in the studio. You can also find Mike Stine over at equinedynamics.com. If you have a question for Mike, or if you like this podcast to perform at your clinic, or your location, or barn, or special event, go to equinedynamics.com. And at the top of the page says, what's it say? It says clinics. I forget what it says. It says clinics. Fill out that little form. And if you have a question for Mike Stine, you can do that there as well. Make sure you put a physical return address. We'll send you out some swag, some stickers, some magnets, all that cool stuff. And over to my far right side is Mike Stine. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you, Kristi? I'm starting to wake up finally.
I'm doing well, Mike. Thank you for asking how I'm doing.
How are you doing,
I'm
Travis?
doing good.
I'm doing good too.
Kristi,
Travis is such a wonderful
this is
physical specimen.
This is where Mike wakes up. At the end of the show, this is where Mike wakes up. And we'd like to, for joining us, we're not done yet. Kristi Foresman, a 3-star event rider, thank you for joining us. How are you?
I'm happy to be here.
So what did we learn today, Mike?
What did we learn today?
Today, talking with Kristi Foresman, what it means to have a village in this sport. When you say this sport, are you talking about event riding or just the horse sport in general?
Both. I mean, horseback riding in general, and then any sort of competition riding.
And that village includes?
Your vet, your farrier, your coach, your trainer, your groom.
Your
and any other
therapist?
Support system, your therapist.
Your therapist, yeah.
Your sponsor, your moneymaker.
You're right, exactly. Now, you do have sponsors, correct?
I do have sponsors.
Are you able to tell us who your sponsors are?
Absolutely, they'd love that.
Sure.
Revitavet, which is an infrared light therapy system that's portable, is one of my biggest sponsors. They sponsor 2 of my horses, Revitavet Percunos and Revitavet Phenomenon. Voltaire is what keeps me safe in the tack. Their saddles are super sticky, which helps a lot.
Put spray glue on them.
And
Keeps your butt in the
then
seat.
Hallway Feeds is my nutritionist, my awesome feed company. Customized plans.
Well, shout out to them as well. And when you're going into an event, what do you do mentally to get prepared for the competition? And is there anything that you make the horse do mentally for them to get prepared, saying, hey, look, horsey, we're getting ready to do this show? Is there something mentally that you do to prepare the horse outside of the normal conditioning and stuff? Goes for a walk or something like that. Is there anything mentally that you help the horse prepare for?
Yeah, for the horse, it's called pre-rides. So you get on them first and just walk them around the competition, or ride them first before you get on to warm up for your event, and that just helps take the edge off. For us as riders, I mean, besides cry, it's just clearing the
Smash stuff,
really,
you know.
really having a balance where you can turn off the bad things that happen and just keep going and keep focusing.
And you have a playlist for each one of the horses?
Yeah, each horse has a playlist.
What's on the give me a couple titles of the who's on your playlist?
Oh, I gotta do the appropriate one. One's dirty, one's not. My Perkunos horse likes Dave Matthews Band a lot.
Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, I like them.
Yeah.
What's
the other one? There's more Snoop Dogg and Eminem.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You don't look like a Snoop Dogg Eminem type girl.
Not for me, it's for them.
Oh,
That's right.
Do you put it on do they have little earbuds that you put on the horses that they listen to it, or you listen it?
It's a speaker.
Oh, okay.
On the neighbor sometimes.
And Mike and I, we got a new invention, a new job opportunity. We're gonna have a smash room at the horse events.
Traveling smash room.
Traveling smash room. We're gonna have to come up with some kind of title or something. I don't know, something catchy that's horsey. You know, you put a horse on anything, it doubles the price on it.
Right.
Absolutely.
And what kind of conditioning and nutrition outside of you and the horses that you do before competitions and then during your downtime? How do you regulate between the two?
During competition is just more lax. Hopefully you've done enough prep work for yourself to go and perform and show. During the week, it's a lot of stamina work and core work, Pilates, running, for humans. And then for horses, it's the same. Core work, they do hill work, which works their core, and trot sets, conditioning, 10-10-10s, 9-7-9s, which are just trotting and cantering for that long, and then breaks in between. And then super long walks on lots of uneven and hard surfaces is really the best physical preparation for your horse to build the right muscle.
Mike, you're going to say something?
I came up with a great idea for our business.
Oh, God. He's so worried about the business.
I'm just starting up. For extra charge, you could take a pair of your horse's back shoes and we could nail them to a baseball bat and you could smash them and leave the prints from your horse's back shoes on whatever you smashed.
We're still working on that one,
Yeah.
Mike.
Think about it.
So Kristi, and back to the nutrition part, do you do anything nutrition-wise before a competition? Like you always see, like runners will eat a lot of pasta, a lot of carbs, or anything like that. What do you, nutrition-wise, do you eat or consume before a competition and the horse as well?
For humans, it's honestly probably not a good thing, but I typically eat less on competition. Nerves are running high, anxiety starts to kick in, and typically it's a granola bar, and maybe a smoothie, maybe a coffee. Unfortunately, that's probably the worst part of the sport is if you carb load like you would for a soccer game the night before, it sits in your gut, and that's not really fun to ride around in sitting trot. Yeah, exactly.
Bouncing up and down with two tons of spaghetti in you.
Yeah.
As far as horses, it's more just the electrolytes that you're gonna, help pump them full.
Keep them hydrated.
Because they're gonna be sweating hard out there certain times of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I guess I did in the condition. And you're okay with your head split and everything. Everything's okay. You can see, vision's good, eyes are good. I mean, did you physically? I mean, that's a serious thing. When you get banged up like that, and you've got a split like that on your head, and you worry about wearing a helmet, riding a horse, but you don't think about the stuff in the stall where this, like I said, this half-ton, almost three-quarter-ton animals pushing you into the wall. Everything checks out. The doctor clears you. You're good to go. Now, how long ago did this happen, by the way?
It was about 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago.
Oh, okay. And you still want to do horses, huh?
And we could have just carved out a.
It's the crazy stars, right?
It is.
Three-star rider, I have 3 levels of crazy at this
Yeah,
point.
there you go.
That's right. You could have carved out a notch in the patent.
I should have. I thought about patenting it as Scary Potter.
Yeah.
All right, Mike. You have anything else you want to add?
No. I do enjoy working with the event horses, and with the team, it's always good to have good interactions between your vet, your body worker, your trainer is in the middle of it, and it's not any one person. Somebody comes and, well, I fixed this. No, we didn't. We tried to set up a situation where the horse could take care of itself. We didn't fix
Yeah.
anything, but we got to have good input from the team. And sometimes the groom might notice something that I might have missed, you know.
And Kristi, where can our listeners find you if they want to get in touch with you or see all the exciting eventing and the picture of your skull, which we'll actually have on the video here as well? Where can they find you and get information for you or about you?
I am Max Jordan Eventing. Just how it sounds, Max Jordan Eventing. That's my hashtag on Instagram and Facebook, and I have a website, www.maxjordan-eventing.com.
And what's the Max Jordan? What is that? Is that the horse's name?
Yeah, that was my first big FEI competition horse that just recently passed away. I'm at 28, so he lived a long, good life.
All right, Mike, anything else?
I think that's pretty much about it.
Well, I'd like to thank you guys for joining us. I'd like to thank Kristi Foresman for joining us here on Equine Dynamics on behalf of Mike Stine over there.
Thank you, Travis. Thank you, Kristi.
And Kristi Foresman for joining us here on this week of Equine Dynamics.
Thanks, Travis. Thanks, Mike.
My name is Travis saying see you next week.
All of the doggies are in the corral. All of your work is done. Just close your eyes and dream, little pal. Dream of someone.
Hi, Lucky.
Good night, Ned.
Hi, Dusty.
Good night, Ned. Good night, Ned.